What makes you a man? Is it how hard you hit, how big your muscles are, or the ability to slap a cobra and live to tell the tale? I've been a filmmaker for 10 years, but before that, I did a lot of manly shit. I was a firefighter. I'm a certified marksman. I was a precision driving instructor. I was a Division II paintball player. I was an NCO in the U.S. Air Force. I was even a cable guy. I'm a certified tactical vehicle and off-road driving instructor. I built an entire addition to a house with my bare hands. I hold the unofficial world record for getting shot with the most paintballs ever, 3,000 of them. I even had some kids, taught them some stuff, and they're turning out to be pretty damn great. And I'm damn sure not afraid to cry at movies because being emotionally confident is a strength. So I feel like my 10 years of filmmaking and all the stuff that I've done in this life as a man uniquely qualify me to tell you what the manliest movies ever made are. But this isn't a one-time thing, baby. This is going to be an ongoing series that shows you the manliest movies ever made from all over the world and all time periods of cinema. What exactly makes a movie manly? That isn't just how physical somebody is. It isn't how big their Johnson is or how many chicks they've been with. To me, what makes a movie manly is fighting against overwhelming odds, strong leadership, proving your dominance through small gestures, sacrifice for things that matter, always doing what you think is right, and doing what you need to do to provide for those you care for. So welcome, friends, to the manliest movies ever made. You guys really loved episode 1. I appreciate all the comments and all the feedback and messages that I got. I also enjoyed the fact that you guys actually co-signed my manly qualifications from the start of the video. That's pretty awesome. I have a gift that I want to give you guys as a thank you for following me, for subscribing, for watching my videos. There are two manly men in Lebanon. They're twin brothers. They go by the name Ashik Man. They are graffiti writers, they're rappers, they're clothing designers, they do it all. Anyway, they're big supporters of the show, and they sent me 5 of their t-shirts to give to you guys. All you gotta do is be following my Instagram and comment on this post featuring Ashik Man, and you will be entered into the drawing to win all 5 shirts. That's right, it's not one shirt per person. One person's going to win all 5 shirts. Now these are pretty manly shirts, but they're great for the guys and the ladies. So check it out. You've got Grendizer, pretty sweet. You've got this dope ass barbed wire design. You've got this Superman influenced logo shirt, this sweet ass shirt, and this super amazing Bruce Lee shirt. So go ahead to my Instagram, follow it, and don't forget to comment on that post, and you could win these 5 shirts, baby. But enough preamble, let's get straight into episode 2 of the manliest movies ever made. Deliverance is a 1972 thriller directed by John Boorman based off of James Dickey's novel. It tells the story of 4 men from the big city out to enjoy a canoe trip down the Cohulawasi River before a hydroelectric dam destroys it and the picturesque valley it flows through. Along the way, they have a lot of internal conflicts, jockeying for position, and run into trouble with the locals who aren't too keen on city slickers rolling through their territory. Also, one of them gets brutally ass-raped and tortured by a team of angry rednecks. From there, things spiral out of control and the men have to battle Mother Nature as well as a group of mountain men out for blood. This is a horrifying movie to watch and experience the first time through, but the second time it will have you cracking up. This is probably Burt Reynolds at his manliest. This is peak 70s Burt Reynolds. But the film also demonstrates 2 lessons that make it required viewing. On one front, I think it helps to give men perspective on what female rape victims have to deal with and how horrifying the experience is. So it might give some of the denser guys out there something to think about before they open their mouths. It also shows how hypocritical Hollywood is, since the film basically ruined Ned Beatty's career. After this, most of his roles were not big and people just looked at him differently, even though his performance is fantastic. The entire dynamic of the film revolves around the power of man over Mother Nature and one another, and shows that it's nothing but an illusion. I Saw the Devil is a 2010 hard R-rated revenge horror thriller directed by Kim Ji-woon. To me, this is arguably the best performances ever by both The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly's Byung-hun Lee and Old Boy's Choi Min-sik. So these 2 guys face off in a deadly game of cat and mouse. Jang is a serial killer who stalks, kidnaps, tortures, and kills innocent women. This time he took out the wrong woman because her husband just happens to be a highly trained special forces operator and secret agent for the South Korean government. So when his wife is taken, Kim sets out to find the killer and make him pay. But to do that, he has to work his way through all of the local convicted perverts to figure out who it is. Once he's laid waste to all the suspects and figures out who the real killer is, he decides to give him a taste of his own medicine by basically stalking him and torturing him repeatedly. But things get out of hand and an insane series of dark, twisted events is set into motion that will affect a lot more people than just the two of these guys. This definitely isn't your traditional revenge flick, and you will not feel any cathartic release after watching it. More importantly, you're probably gonna feel like shit after you watch this movie, and that's because it's unflinchingly realistic and will make you think twice about manly revenge scenarios. It's a dark tale told by one of the best filmmaking minds on the planet and a must-watch. It's my favorite revenge flick ever made. The Grey is a 2011 action-adventure drama from Joe Carnahan starring Liam Neeson, Frank Grillo, and a roster of gifted actors who really make the film pop. So Liam Neeson plays Ottaway, a survivalist and hunter for hire. He works for the oil companies in the Alaskan wilderness, where he protects the men from wild beasts on their work site. While on a flight home, he and the men crash land in the middle of nowhere during an unforgiving Alaskan winter. Only 7 of them survive the plane crash, and it is up to Ottaway to help them survive by imparting his survival skills upon the group. But exposure to the frigid weather and starvation are the least of their worries, because they've landed in the midst of a massive pack of wolves who are hungry and out to protect their territory. The men now have to outsmart the wolves while trying to clear their territorial boundaries. While most of the facts and behaviors of the wolves are fictionalized and kind of bullshit, it doesn't lessen the drama or the authentic feel of the fight for the men's survival. This movie was a divisive sleeper hit that pissed off everyone from PETA to viewers who were misled by the marketing campaign. All that stuff aside, the acting, pacing, utilization of the great outdoors, and never-ending tension are just flawless. This is easily the best man versus nature movie ever and one of the best films of 2011. It is also, in my opinion, one of the top 3 manliest movies ever made. A History of Violence is a 2005 crime drama directed by David Cronenberg. Yes, that David Cronenberg. I'm going to say right up front that this is one of the greatest comic book movies ever made. Yes, this was a comic first. Cronenberg made it a much darker, more violent, more realistic, and infinitely much more layered film than the comic actually was. It just has more weight to it, there are far more consequences, and much more true-to-life characters. This movie is all about a man protecting his family, but it is also about much more than that. It is about identity, responsibility, motivations, and accountability. Basically, all the things grown-ups have to deal with, especially fathers. The film follows Tom, a much-loved diner owner and a family man who is thrust into the spotlight when he stops a robbery and brings the perpetrators to justice via a thorough ass-whooping. But the criminal organization the men belong to come to town, and not only are they out for Tom's blood because he took out their guys, they say he used to be part of their gang. Now Tom is out to squash this case of mistaken identity and to free himself and his family of these scumbags who won't leave them alone. This gritty drama explores what it is to be a family man, and it also explores what happens when our dark past mistakes catch up to us. The entire cast, plot, pacing, and Cronenberg eye for gorgeous violence makes this a manly movie to watch for sure. They Live is a 1988 horror sci-fi action romp directed by the masterful John Carpenter. It's based off of Ray Nilsson's short story 8 O'Clock in the Morning. It stars the late great WWF's Rowdy Roddy Piper and Keith David as 2 badasses. These guys have one of the best knockdown, drag-out fights in the history of cinema. It's so over the top and it's so fun. It's just super duper manly. It's been imitated and spoofed countless times, and that's for a good reason. It's awesome. And this movie's actually pretty prophetic with its message, which is more apt today than it was back when the movie was made during the time of Reaganomics. So we follow Nada, our blue-collar hero who discovers with the help of special sunglasses that we are being controlled through subliminal messages via alien overlords who keep getting richer and more powerful off of the backs of the less-than-human working class. He and his ragtag rebellion are out to bring down the man and return the balance of power to its natural order. To do that, he has to take on the societal elite controlling the sheep of mankind through mass media. Even though our hero is broken homeless when offered a lavish lifestyle to stay quiet, he refuses because he has integrity and believes in doing what's right. After seeing police brutality, he realizes that no matter how hard you work, the American dream is dead and that those in power will only keep it and exert more influence as time goes on. As they say in the movie, they live, we sleep. Now, if only we had a hero that could snap the ignorant masses out of it today like Rowdy Roddy Piper did in the 80s. So that's it for this episode of the manliest movies ever made. But get pumped because I have a lot more episodes on the way. If you like the movies I chose this week or you have some manly movies you want to recommend, let me know in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.